Welcome to another episode of Midwest Ghost Hunters Dark Matter Podcast. On today's episode, it's part 2 of a skilled nursing facility investigation. Welcome to Midwest Ghost Hunters Dark Matter Podcast. I'm John, Dustin, and Chris all here today. Today, part 2 of a investigation we did at a skilled nursing facility.
And let's not gloss over the fact that we are at Pythian Castle, one of the most well-known paranormal sites in the entire state. It's well-known worldwide. And we do our podcast from here, so thanks to those guys for letting us kind of invade the space here on Sundays so we can record our podcast. We appreciate that, and we appreciate you listening to it, too.
And by the way, speaking of listening, Dustin may just be doing this now, but please, if you hear anything on this podcast, let us know. That was Dustin's big deal.
Yeah, we've had that happen, quite a bit. And we pick up, whispers and stuff on these microphones that we have shoved in our own faces. So, which is creepy enough. But if you hear anything on this podcast, let us know. You can email us, contact@mwghosthunters.com, and we'll listen to that spot and see what we can find, because we have just got so much stuff.
We've got a lot of stuff here. And if people that are listening want to do this themselves, they can book a tour.
Yes, pythiancastle.com. I always want to say .net, but it is not .net. It is .com is where you can go and you can book your own investigation tour.
Mm-hmm. They do ghost tours here.
Yeah, we've been talking to some of the tour guides, and they've told us about some of the cool stuff that they've caught, and they've really caught some good stuff.
And if we're catching stuff sitting here in a room recording...
Yeah, in the middle of the day.
In the middle of the day.
So, when you go into the tunnel, there's no telling,
right.
What the hell
It'd be a fun time.
So, like John said, this is part 2 of our presentation of evidence that we recorded inside a skilled nursing facility room, a skilled nursing facility wing, by the way, that is empty. There's no patients on it. So we had our recorders, inside the room, like we said last time, and we've just caught all kinds of sounds.
And if you are not familiar with what caused us to do this, there was some housekeeping people that were shooting a video, and they caught an amazing EVP in the room at the time, and that's what led us down to this. On our last podcast, we really focused a lot heavily on the fact that that we had a lot of noise in the room, but no footsteps.
Yeah, and
really no vocals either. I mean, other than like some whispering and stuff, I think, right?
And it's hard to tell because you do have the ambient car sounds in the background.
Now, I think we do have some.
I do too. It's just hard to tell what's what.
It's hard to tell, yeah.
And you are going to hear humans in this recorder is pretty damn strong. It picks up a lot. I mean, these voices are way across the facility, but it does pick up some muffled human voices that are not paranormal. We're not focusing on those.
We'll try to point those out.
Yes, we can determine the difference between those and the others. But the point is, there should be no noise.
The door shouldn't be slamming open and closed, the bathroom door, while the main door is shut.
Yes.
And you don't hear footsteps coming in or out, as John said last time.
Yeah, it's a laminate floor, and I did the walking test myself and recorded it. You can easily, I was wearing tennis shoes too.
But you would even hear like the main door open.
Oh yeah, you would hear all kinds of doors open before they ever got to the
right. Yeah, you'd hear the beeping from them coming into the secure wing.
Yep, you would. So we've got even more to present to you today. Now this one I like because this one shows proximity to the equipment. This is the one I was telling you about, Dustin, that I wanted you to hear because the recorder is sitting on the table next to the bed, and you can hear this thing get touched. I mean, touched. Nothing approaches. Nothing walks away. But you certainly hear the recorder get touched. Let's go ahead and play that one for you. Right there.
Yeah.
That's right there. That's right into the,
That's actually almost flicking it.
That's what I was going to say, your index finger.
Because the recorder that this came off of has a plastic case on it, and that's the sound of somebody flicking the mic on it.
Let's go ahead and get to that spot one more time. Now, is a flick alone paranormal? Not necessarily, but keep in mind.
This is a good recorder, and they don't just make noises.
They don't, and nobody approached.
Well, I think the fact it gets flicked could very well be paranormal because no one's in the room.
Right.
Yeah, there's nobody. That's the important thing about why, John asked me to do he's like, walk into the room and record it. Hold the phone down at your side. Record what footsteps sound like. And I did that. And let's go ahead and we're going to beat a dead horse. So let's go ahead and do that one more time.
This becomes very, very important. So you can hear the sound of what it sounds like if you're in that room.
All right, here we go.
You might even being a little generous with your footsteps.
I was just
that
trying
sounds
to-
like me clomping around.
I was just trying to have a normal cadence, and it is louder, because I had the phone held down on my side. Point being, we're going to hear humans if they enter the room. None did.
You actually do hear the nurse when the nurse or the housekeeping person or whoever it was
At the very beginning?
at the beginning of this.
Yeah, you can hear them walk away.
Yes.
And nobody ever approaches again.
Right. So you can hear it. It absolutely. This is not a deal of I guess technically somebody maybe could have snuck in there. Maybe
We would have heard them.
but
You mean like hiding in the room?
Yeah, I guess you could have.
They didn't, because I went through the whole room that day whenever I placed the
Yeah.
recorders. I went through because I wanted to see if the bathroom had been. Sometimes in those empty rooms, they'll use the bathroom as like supply for like the COVID supplies, like gloves, masks. And I looked in there to make sure, in case we heard something fall over, to make sure there wasn't stuff stored in that bathroom, and there was not.
I think John's just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, it
is
is.
possible that somebody spent 9 hours of their life.
Right. I mean, look, but it's going to have to be something like that. We talked about this on the last podcast. This is late at night.
Yes, yeah, this happens in the
That's like
overnight.
overnight, early morning.
Yeah. We don't need a ghost to be in there. Us as a group, we don't need there to be a ghost in there. We've done many places. Most investigations we've done, there are none.
Right.
So
It's not like it's good for business.
no, I know. That's
There's
what
no
I'm
business.
saying. We don't have any dog in the race. As far as that goes, there either is or isn't.
But when you start looking at this and everything,
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I did, and I also have noticed that this thing's gotten moved.
I did that.
Okay.
I moved
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I moved
I
that.
just noticed that, and I'm so glad you did that. Because the other possibility is it's been slowly moving as we've been sitting here.
Yes. Okay.
No. I did that because I couldn't see Dustin's
No, that's fine. That's
reaction
fine. Okay, never
across the way. But I heard something right before you were looking at that.
Yeah, I did too. I heard muffling or rustling.
Yes. So we'll have to we'll look
See,
at that
this
again.
is why I'm telling listeners to treat this like an investigation of your own.
And it sounds like that we are like the king of paranoia on the
not.
podcast.
We're not.
We're in Pythian Castle.
But-
We're in Pythian Castle. We're not in the radio studio. I just heard
I
something
just did
again.
too.
Okay.
I heard it too.
that sounded like
I thought it said hello.
that sounded like a voice, a
I
male
thought-
voice.
a male voice, and I thought it said hello.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
No, I
No.
thought it said
we
hello.
We're gonna listen. We need to pay attention to that. We're getting
What's
off.
the timestamp here?
We'll mark that. Okay.
Just tell them. What is it?
Well, you're going to hear us talking about it.
Was that you?
That was not me.
That was not me. Okay. What is that room right there?
I don't know. We were doing another thing here.
You guys just want to hang on.
Yeah, hang on.
Let's just do an EVP session.
Okay.
Okay.
If there's somebody in this room, make a noise. Let us know you're here.
That was in the next room.
What's your name?
Right there. Did you hear that?
Okay, yes, I did. I did hear
Right
that.
there.
Now,
That was a
sounded
vocal
like-
response.
It sounded like that was farther in the castle.
Anybody that's here, can you make a noise for us? A loud noise.
Was that you?
No, I'm not moving.
Like, that sounds like right here, dude.
Over here? Let me check this thing real quick.
Huh.
Can you make a knocking sound for us? Right there. Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that?
No.
I did.
You guys need to take one of these off because I'm hearing stuff over here.
I'm afraid. Okay. If you're in here with us, what's your name? That's a bird.
Okay. All right. Well, let's continue.
Okay. Okay.
We'll just have to listen back.
We'll have to listen back to that. We are in Pythian Castle. We're not alarmists at all, but I heard something very clearly.
No, right, yeah, I did too. And that's the other thing
We need to remember what the timestamp when it started, because that's when the vocal was. That's when I heard like.
Yeah, we'll see that.
Yep.
That won't be a problem.
Yep.
Because I listen to all these things.
Very interesting. I hate to veer away from that at this point, but
What were we talking about? we were saying how like we're in Pythian Castle.
Well,
I think
we were saying we don't need a ghost to be there. You know, we do an investigation. You know, we're not going to try to fudge it to make you think that there's something that isn't. We don't care.
Right. We don't get anything out of. We don't make any money off of ghosts or anything.
We don't. We just like to. I mean, now we're in a position where we put ourselves in places like this where it's much more likely than it is in a radio station production studio where we're used to do this.
And the other thing that you can get into, you can come back in and say, "Did you hear that?" And you go back in and you listen, and then there's nothing. There's nothing there.
Yeah, and that could very well be what just happened.
Yes,
I don't know.
I mean, I heard something at the beginning when it first started. I mean, I heard like what sounded like a vocal. Something was in the room with us. It sounded like.
I heard for the first time ever.
I actually looked over and thought, "Who's in here?"
Well, it sounded like a male voice.
For the first time ever, I heard a male voice.
Yeah, it was a male.
Yes,
and it was none of these three males.
For sure. And it sounded to me like it came from up in here, but that could be wrong. I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and veer.
So we were talking.
Back.
We were talking about the footsteps and how that there are no footsteps in there, and that's really a big problem.
Yeah, and I believe we were up to. Man, I've lost track of where we are in the audio, but let's just go ahead and roll this one right here for you. Okay, that sounded like a bang on the wall to me. That wasn't a door.
To me, that sounded like something scooting.
It could be. It could be a piece of furniture hitting the wall.
Sounds like you're scooting something.
Or like a drawer slowly opening.
That's true. It could be the drawer. Which recorder was that? Do you remember? Was it the one that had the foam ball up on the wardrobe? It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Matter.
You know, I just realized.
What?
We have recorders in there.
Oh yeah, we've got recorders all over the place.
I mean, I knew that.
Yeah.
But
a lot of the from the couple of podcasts ago, the ones that we had done were captured in there.
Okay.
Yeah, going through these recorders has almost become a full-time job.
It really is.
It's like, good Lord, it's every week.
Yeah, it's 9
I'd be
hours.
really curious to see if that vocal was on there. Anyway.
Hopefully, we'll be able to get some on those. Let's go ahead and go to our next audio piece here from the skilled nursing facility. Here we go. This one is just full of noise. I mean, that's why it's a long audio piece. I can probably skip forward a little bit.
That's an airplane.
Right there, you hear the airplane.
And again, the reason why that I wanted to leave those in is because you see how good you would hear a person moving if you can hear a plane flying over inside the building.
Yeah. Should I keep this one rolling, John? Is there more after that?
No,
okay,
keep going. There has to be a reason why we...
Was that on there?
Yeah. Well, there was something there.
Did it sound like it flicked the microphone?
Uh-huh. On my right side.
Uh-huh. I thought that was the air conditioner. But if you're saying there's no air conditioner in there...
Okay, one thing to point out, when a lot of our listeners might not be using headphones right now, I heard a flick on my right.
Yes, I did too. Over
my
here,
headset's on correctly. It was on my right side.
I did too. So I don't think I'd heard that part of that one before.
And then a bunch of other noise too, by the way.
A lot of other stuff. It's just weird. These noises are so loud from inside that damn closed room. I'm going to keep going here because we've got more. I'm going to keep rolling through them here. Let's go ahead and play this one for you. That was...
I don't know what that was.
That just sounds like...
It was over here.
Yeah.
It's so loud.
Was that a clap?
See, and I thought that was the air conditioner, but you're saying it's not.
I'm going to reinvestigate that. I'll have to look at that piece of it a little bit better. I can easily force that unit
The
to
other
come
thing
on.
sounded like a microphone interaction, like something was messing with the mic. Because I heard like I keep thinking when John said a flick,
Yeah,
it sounds kind of like that.
yeah. Now is this the same one? I wonder. Let me look at the name of that.
The air conditioner sound kind of to me sounds like maybe a clap.
I don't know. I'll record that thing because I can adjust it to the point where it will automatically turn. Those should all be off, but where it'll automatically turn on.
But here's the thing though. I don't know that's it, because in the other recordings, and I've spent 9 hours listening to this, so you kind of see a pattern of it come in. You'll hear that clap, and then immediately you hear the blower go.
That would make more sense.
You're not hearing it
that's what
on
I mean. I don't
these.
hear that. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's almost like something. It's almost like something's hitting the air conditioner unit inside the room.
That part that I can easily figure out. I can force that AC unit to make some of those noises. That sounds a little loud for it to be that, but it could be. We'll find out. A lot of these other noises we played are absolutely not. Like the door slamming. Do I have the ones? Let me see here.
And you got I've got some enhanced ones that are in there too that were really good. Remember the ones I sent you last night?
I've still got one. Let me play this one right here really quickly. Towards the end. I'll try to get there. Hang on. Let me play that one more time. And that sounds more like the original EVP that was captured. That was the enhanced one.
Okay.
That was the enhanced one. I was looking for the original. Is this it right here? Did we already play that? I'm going to go ahead and play it. I mean, they sound similar.
We haven't played any of the vocals yet, have we?
Well, did I not? Let me look here.
Because there's...
Let me see what this one is real
I think I've got one that's called Enhanced Nick.
Okay, we've done... I think we... Okay, yeah, we did play this one a little bit earlier. See, that's the one you said you thought that may be the AC unit?
I thought it was, but on all the AC unit ones, now that I go back and look at it,
You hear the blower kick on?
the blower kicks on almost instantly.
I was looking through here to see if there's any that... let me look here real quick. I feel like...
Where is the one that... Yeah, the one that was titled what he just said.
There he is.
Okay. Okay, we'll play that one. Okay, do we want to pick up from
Yeah.
there?
You know, the EVP I haven't heard yet.
It's cold in here.
I'm freezing.
You know, the EVP that I have not heard yet is actually the enhanced ghostly type sound.
I finally figured out which one you're talking about. You sent it late last night. I do have that here. Let's go ahead and roll that one for you. Okay, let me go back to that spot real quick. It's right here.
There he was.
Yep. Considering that's coming out of an empty room, that's pretty freaky.
And it's kind of in the same cadence of the My Name is
It
Nick.
sounds very much like that.
It sounds like that one.
Did we?
No, you should probably play the original.
Did I play that one? I don't remember if I played that one here.
And is there any way you can get them in there and we can play the two back to back?
Okay, there's the audio
Man, that
piece
is just still really creepy.
from the beginning. Yeah,
That was the
is-
original one.
Okay.
And then here is the one that we caught in the room.
It sounds the same to me.
It has like a similar effect to it. It has the same sound.
It's like
to
it's
it.
got that. Yeah, it's like if you were put it in Pro Tools or whatever. And,
Yeah, it's like it's coming through like a veil.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really strange.
It sounds like a match to me. Now I'm not going to go so far as to say it 100%
I don't know how to
is.
explain how it's similar, but it's so similar. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I can definitely pick up on the similarities between them.
And you can confirm that housekeeping was not in the room that night.
No, they
That
have no reason.
Nurses did not go. But I mean, you actually talked with them and
Yes.
said, "Hey,
Yes.
was anybody there?"
Nobody went in there. Door was still completely closed, and it remained closed the whole time. So
Yeah, the door that we're hearing is the bathroom door inside the room.
inside the room, right? Yeah, it's not the main door. It's not the door to the room. It's the door that's inside the room once you get inside. I mean, they've heard doors slamming. They've heard stuff being banged around. They've heard voices. They've heard. I think there was one nurse that even said that she felt like she was being chased down the hallway.
You know, Chris, one of the things that we really haven't done is to play your EMF meter.
Yeah, and I don't know how much I've really even talked about it because it didn't seem like my recorders in the hallway got much action at all. It seemed like everything happened inside the room where yours were. But I did have other recorders scattered around. One of them was near, I would say it was probably, maybe 25, 30 feet away from the EMF detector because I put the EMF detector in a position where it was a dead spot. There was nothing triggering it. And I set it down there to make sure nothing would trigger it, then, walked away. I didn't want the recorder close enough where it would trigger it, so it does sound a little distant. But this recorder did catch that EMF detector going off in the hallway, and it only went off this one time. So we'll go ahead and play that one for you. That's it. It went off on its own. Does it have to mean paranormal activity? It doesn't. But there's really.
But you found a dead spot for it, right?
And that's the only time it did it in that whole time. Is that one time? So I don't really have an explanation for it. It's one of those things that we can't explain. So we're throwing it up there as to be included in the preponderance of the evidence here at this point. So I don't know.
Other than people being in the facility, I can't explain those noises in that room because this is doors opening and shutting.
Oh yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
loud.
I mean,
this
that's
isn't,
and they're not in the room next door. They're. I thought I heard something there.
did too.
Sorry, that's the way this podcast is going to go from now on, I guess. Anyway, it's not like as though it was a room next door with the door slammed. It was all inside the room. That's what makes it, worthy of presenting to you guys. Is there's no reason for any of that to be. There's no reason for any noise in there at all, other than like John said, maybe an AC unit kicking on or something like that. But if there were humans or anybody in the room, we would hear them.
Does
enter
anybody,
the room.
Dustin, any thoughts on what that would be? What could cause any of that?
I mean, the main things we'd always do is check for air currents, check to see if opening the main door would cause the bathroom door to slam. Is the windows open? And of course, there's no windows that you can open in this place, right?
Well, there are windows you can open, but they're not open.
Some assisted living facilities don't do windows for obvious reasons.
Right? No, this does have windows. They're all closed. The blinds are pulled. They're all locked.
These are the only things you can do, right? You can check to see if maybe something like that's causing it, but it's not.
Well, and
So-
whatever it was, and even if you could slam a door from another area and that would cause that to happen, it's not going to cause the door to get jingled like
Yeah, I was going to say
10 or 15 times.
the door might close once,
Yeah.
but it's not going to open on its own because of wind or air.
No.
So there is no explanation.
I don't really have anything on
and
this.
certainly nothing for the whispers.
I got nothing for that. The best I got is present it to you and you decide yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have to decide yourself what you think it is because we don't have an explanation. Otherwise, we would be driving much nicer cars.
Our job is to see if there's anything that's in the room that could be causing it, and there's not.
Yeah. And I am going to go in there and check out that AC unit just to kind of see, to kind of, we can either put that to bed or put that, as a possible cause for a couple of these. But certainly it wasn't an AC unit that's closing the bathroom door. I know that much. Those doors are heavy and big.
Good stuff.
Well, and something also, too, the thing that got me is that something flicked that mic 2 or 3 times in that room.
And it's very strange because if you were going to flick the mic, you would almost hear it on when we're listening back. Wouldn't you hear it?
I heard that right there. Did you hear that right there?
What?
That was a person.
Yes, it was.
I just heard
We
what
just heard
time?
it.
Okay. It was like, phew.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
While
that
I
same
was
thing.
talking?
Yes,
Yeah.
while you were talking. Is anybody in this room with us here right now?
If this is your first time listening to our podcast, it's important to point out again, we're inside Pythian Castle.
Yeah.
We don't just think we hear ghosts everywhere.
We're not all in our homes.
No.
Yeah, this is not at our house.
No, we're inside Pythian Castle here in Spring.
Pythian Castle has a long running history of this.
I heard a whisper a second ago. We both heard it because I looked at him. And
When you just said Pythian Castle, I thought I heard something.
oh, you did? We'll have to listen.
Who
Close.
knows? This could be a gold mine. It's very possible.
We're going to have to listen. I hate to be so scattered, but
Yeah.
when you do this inside a place like this, it's going to happen.
And it's happened to us several times here.
It sure has.
A lot of the audio, even that we played off
It's
this
so
other one.
weird that we're hearing some of that stuff with our ears through headsets.
Yeah. Normally you don't. Normally,
Well, to be fair, I didn't, but I was in the middle of talking, so
a lot of
I don't
times.
know what you guys heard.
And that's the thing. I know that Dustin had mentioned this several times. But if you hear something on these podcasts, let us know.
Yes, please let us know. And please know that we never start out this podcast thinking we're going to hear anything.
No,
We don't even,
no.
the first time we did this, we didn't even set up recorders.
No.
We just wanted to be in a cool spot.
Yeah.
To do the podcast.
Didn't really occur
from.
to us that it would happen.
But
And the other thing too that Dustin always mentions too here, and here I am doing all the talking. Dustin's not on this, but give us a
let me tell you what Dustin thinks.
give us a timestamp too. That really helps to be able to
gonna
narrow it
say
down.
that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you hear anything on this podcast, and don't think that we're setting this up, even when I watch, certain paranormal shows, I'm like, oh man, they've got like
They got a guy in the other
an
room.
assistant in the
Yeah,
other room
no,
turning the light on and off.
We certainly don't have an assistant.
We don't have an assistant. We don't have
No.
Everything that we're presenting to you on here is as it happens. It's 100% real.
And even if you think you might have heard something,
Yeah.
because we do that all the time, and then we're like, oh, it wasn't anything.
We've caught a lot of female whispers in this place. Today, for the first time ever, I know for a fact on this podcast you're going to hear a male voice because I heard it.
Well, I think so, but I'm reluctant to jump out here and say that we will for sure.
We've got recording devices everywhere. It's got to be. I heard it with my ears.
I heard him too.
So yeah, anything you hear, let us know. Contact at mwghosthunters.com and let us, if you think it was like, it's like at 27 minutes and 14 seconds. We'll, listen to that
It
spot.
really does. It helps us out a bunch. And so,
I feel crazy.
yeah, no, it does. It makes you feel.
I feel like people, our Tasmanian listener.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, these Missouri people.
Good Lord, what's up with those guys?
They go everywhere. They go to the mall. They see ghosts.
They got a ghost in the line at Taco Bell.
We really don't. Most places, there's nothing. It's just, this is a very, very active place, and it's just bound to happen here.
Pythian Castle is really known for that. But so we don't really.
We have no explanations.
There's
If that's
nothing,
what, no.
right? I'm just trying to see if there's anything that anybody's going to go debunking.
So you mean for the skilled nursing facility?
Yes.
I don't have any explanation. I don't have. I mean, as far as debunking goes, I could, that's something that we can actually, hands-on do. We can set the AC unit to kick on and see if it makes that noise. But
To me, one of the big things, and I know this sounds kind of crazy, but other than the things obviously slamming in a room that's not supposed to have anything, something intentionally hit that mic 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
and you've got to seek that out.
Those are the ones that I actually find the most interesting because you have to have fully approached the device and touch it.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me that we hear it on one side of our headset.
Well, it's a 2-pronged recorder. So
Right.
if you touch one of those mics, it's only going to get one side.
The
it's
other
a
side won't pick up anything at all.
Well,
It's not going to pick up the impact.
because that's what you're hearing. It's like if you tap that.
Yeah.
So it is like a tap,
Right
like
there.
a finger
Right.
tap, or maybe like a flip
Yeah.
of a finger.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and if you just hit the side of it that it's on, that's what you're going to hear.
Yeah. Okay. So, as far as explanation goes, I have no idea. We could do it again sometime if we want to, see if we get anything else.
It's really stereotypical paranormal stuff, like little things, little noises that you can't account for.
Some of those noises were big, though.
Well, they are, but like it's
Well, and for me too,
I was shocked when John. I was like, "Oh my god!"
the whispers.
Those are in the room.
Feel so. Like we've heard that kind of stuff before.
Yeah, we have.
Well, and it sounds very similar to the one that the house cleaning people.
I mean, it's
caught.
that same. Yeah,
Yeah,
it really
it
is.
does. It
I can't
sounds
put
a lot
my
like
finger on how to explain what makes them so similar.
It's just that wispy.
I
don't know.
wispy
They've got that sound.
effect
Yep.
to it.
I don't know. We'll consider the case open. We'll do some more debunking, see what we can figure out, and maybe go in there again sometime.
And if you do hear anything on this podcast right now, we always ask you to reach out to us. The best way to contact us.
Email contact@mwghosthunters.com. Obviously, our website is mwghosthunters.com. We've got this podcast on there. We've got we're moving all of our evidence over to this main page because now we've got this unlimited, space on our website. So it's able to have the embedded audio. So it's not always doing that damn thing where it rolls onto
Right.
that next one.
Yeah.
So we're moving it over there slowly. We're getting it on there, but you can find everything on our website, mwghosthunters.com. And when we come back, it's a tough time of year, with the holidays and people, the schedules are hard to, but when we do, we're going to have one of the tour guides with us. She's going to talk about some of the things they experience here at Pythian Castle. We've got some other people, some other guests that we planned that have had some things happen to them, not even here, but, outside of here. So we've got a lot of stuff planned, plus all, the evidence that we may or may not have from today. So
The other thing that will really help us out a bunch is if you will please go on, give us a 5-star on whatever platform you're listening to the podcast on.
A lot of people
it helps
on,
us to grow the audience.
a lot of people on iHeartRadio,
Yes.
there's YouTube, there's Spotify. What else are we? Audible, I know.
Apple
TuneIn,
Podcast
Apple
is there.
Podcast, yeah, all of those.
We're
Whatever
just about everywhere. So wherever you're listening, do us a favor and go in and comment, help us spread the word about the podcast.
We don't take donations or anything, so this is how you can help.
That would be the biggest favor you could do for us. We appreciate it. We'll be back with another one.
And we'll be back soon with another episode of Midwest Ghost Hunters Dark Matter Podcast.